No. Good. Good. We need to be here. Och, it's called. I keep forgetting that she's Scottish. You are washed along the narrow opening and out into a large cavern with banks on both sides. Climb out onto the south bank. Okay, we know about this bit. This is the bit with the boat. I really don't want to get in that water again. So, the simplest option, how are we doing for money? 62. We have quite a lot of money. So I think I'm just going to do the whole thing with ringing the bell and paying the boatman. Yeah, it's fine. We have plenty of ash. Okay. We're going to explore the shack to the west. We're going to get the key to the boathouse. Okay. So, massive apologies to Mike, being a dog lover. We are going to have to fight and kill the dog. I have not found a way of getting in and out of this room without harming the dog yet. Because even if you drink the potion of invisibility, the dog can smell you. And if you wake the guy up, you don't get the keys. Which is... I know, Mike, I'm sorry. It is a dog that breathes fire, so I sort of feel like it's kind of even. Anyway, as you can imagine, the owner is unhappy, but he turns into a werewolf. So, I'm having to kill 2 dogs in one fight. It feels even more harsh. So he is moving, so I am going to attack this space. Oh, that's interesting. He didn't broadcast his thing. Let's try that. Oh, goodness me. It is not going well. Okay, 10v8. It's enough. Oh, I should have known. Okay, he's moving. Oh yeah, he's got this pressing attack. That's really interesting. Having said that, I'd kind of got my head around the patterns in this, clearly. Right, he's now going to do his pressing attack. There we go. Ah, that's a shame. There we go. So all the attacks, I mean, I'll say you learn the attacks, but each set of monsters have their own attacks. It's not like you can just learn it and then you know. Let's not take the pickled eggs because we know they're horrible. I'm assuming one of the characters has some sort of quest to find horribly off pickled eggs because it keeps coming up. Okay, let's talk to the funny skeletons. This was always my favourite bit in the book because I was a huge fan of obviously things like Jason and the Argonauts. I loved the old Ray Harryhausen animated skeletons. It was my favourite bit in the whole movie. So for me, when I got to this point in the book and it was like skeletons, I was like, yeah, skeletons. So I always come here. Okay. So let's talk to the skeletons. The skeletons are good for comedy value. You stride into the room confidently and shout in a booming voice, "Right, you lazy bones, back to work!" The skeletons turn to face each other and presumably exchange looks. You can't really tell. One of them, the leader, probably pipes up. "I don't know, you look pretty fleshy for a boss, plenty of meat on your bones." What will you say to convince them that you're definitely their new boss? So we've got, "I've been appointed by Zagor himself, don't ask stupid questions, we got new orders to fill, and I can't help it if I have a skin condition." Now from previous runs, this is the one for this. "I can't help it if I have a skin condition," you exclaim. "That's workplace discrimination." The skeletons pause, they seem to look nervous. You think, it's hard to tell with skeletons. Is that a bad thing? That sounds bad. One of the skeletons faces another. I don't know, the Soul Keeper might know. No way, I'm not asking. She said she was busy. They turn to face you. We're sorry, boss. Back to work. Now, what's really interesting, for those of you, if you're interested in this game, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain, each different character that you play this game with has a different experience talking to the skeletons. You get different dialogue options. So one of the first level characters that you get like unlocked right at the beginning of the game, they've heard of her. They're like massive fanboys. So when you tell them who you are, they're like, "What? Thee?" And they want you to sign their bones and things like this. And yeah, so yeah, when you approach the skeletons, you get different encounters depending on who you are. I think that's a really nice touch. So let's search the drawers. 5 gold pieces. Okay, so I think the drawers is another place that you can get a Zagor key, but not in this particular run. So we want to go to the smaller structure to the northeast because this is the shop. Okay, so we were talking earlier on the stream about Russ Nicholson, who was the original artist for the Warlock of Firetop Mountain and came back to do the artwork for the game. According to Tin Man Games, well, now what did they say? So I think this does basically they said that the image of Oriana and the hero heads are the only drawings that Russ Nicholson didn't do. Now I don't know whether that means that this particular image Russ Nicholson didn't do, or whether he just didn't do the close-up of her face that appears in the resurrection screen and some of the menus, because this looks really close to the original art style. So if somebody else has drawn that, I'm well impressed. Okay. Let us purchase something. Is there anything we've got we can sell? No, I'm keeping those. Unless, hang on, how much gold have we got? We've got 64 gold. If I sell the potion of invisibility, I can skip the maze. That's really tempting. That is really tempting. Let's do it. I'm going to do it. What do you think in Twitch chat? Do you think I should? So, the maze is a section of the end of the game that it's randomly generated each time you play it. You basically have to move around all these corridors, and there are certain puzzles you have to solve. The puzzles are the same each time, but where they are moves around. So you end up getting drawn into battles and stuff, which isn't something I really want to do with this character. So if we buy the maze jumper, we can skip either the whole maze, because there's 2 floors of maze, or one of the sections of maze. I'm not sure which. So Garzini, you're sounding horrified by the idea of skipping something. It's only because if you want to watch the whole YouTube series, I have already done the maze at some length, and I'm really keen to win with this character. But at the same time, if you guys want to see the maze tonight, I'm happy to do it. I think if we're just going to buy something without selling, I think we buy the Potion of Strength, because stamina is really important for this character. We've already got some sort of fire protection. Is there a picture of a mug on the jumper? For the mug! Fortune restores our luck. Skill will restore our skill if we lose any skill. So that's a really valuable. The 2 I'd probably buy is the Potion of Skill and the Potion of Strength. Alternatively, if we sell the Potion of Invisibility, I can buy a Fire Protection and a Strength and a Skill. Because I'm not 100% sure whether this Fire Vial is going to allow us to skip the... not skip, but there's a dragon towards the end of the book that breathes fire at you, and I'm not sure if the Fire Vial will protect us or not. Okay, so here's my suggestion. I'm going to sell the Potion of Invisibility, because I think we can manage without it, and I'm going to buy the Potion of Skill, Potion of Strength, Potion of Fire Protection. Does that sound like a good plan to you? Vote in Twitch. So yeah, the maze is really interesting, because I've got as far as the maze a few times, and the puzzles in there are really nice. But it is hello, Space Lenin. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, the puzzles are really nice, but it just they move around. So what ends up happening is you end up. There are certain fights that I know I don't want to get drawn into, but I can't predict whether I'm going to get drawn into them. So, hello, Psycho Cow. Let's do it then. Mike says go for it. So let's sell the potion of invisibility. Okay, I'm not selling the bull amulet because I know what that's for. Purchase something. We are going to buy skill, strength, fire protection. So we are now broke. No, 9 gold, it's not too bad. And we're going to bid the Soul Keeper goodbye. Return to the beach. Now, this is where I went wrong last time. So, I need to go into the right building. Yeah, Mike, you're the designated scapegoat if it all goes wrong. So, what we need to do is we need to go up the foreboding stone staircase. If we head west to the tower, we miss Krea Jatura's quest entirely. We just bypass it. That's what I did last time. That is the mistake I am not going to make this time. Okay, got some bats to fight. So we're being attacked. They're all attacking. So let's just move out the way. Oh, harsh. Right. He's moving. He's moving. He's moving. I'm going to move again. Right. So we've got an attack and an attack. They can attack diagonally, so I may as well use my decent attack. There we go. 6v10 plus 2d6 is a win for me. He's moving, he's moving, he's attacking. Crippling volley then. Right, I'm going to move. He's attacking. It's going to be a roll. 10v6. It's good enough. They're attacking, he's moving. I'm going to move out the way. He's attacking, they're moving. So let's finish this one off. Mike's asking, is it worth tucking yourself into that corner bottom left? I would say no, purely on the basis that it's good to have some manoeuvring space. He's moving, so let's attack this space. Ah! Dreadful. Let's finish that one off then. Yeah, you would think that getting into a corner like that is good, but it doesn't actually provide you with any shelter, and it means that if you're standing in that corner and a bat is standing in the space next to you, you basically have no manoeuvring. But yeah, I appreciate what you're saying. You're less exposed. You could only be attacked from 2 sides rather than 3. Right. There's a bench, which is good. So if we sit and consume provisions, we get 10 stamina back, which is slightly overkill. Hello, Ratmark. Thank you for the stream. Well, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Explore the graveyard. Why not? I'm testing my luck. So I'm kind of average for luck tests. Okay, that's fine. You find something. Potion of strength. Oh, I needn't have bought it. Never mind. At least hit points aren't going to be an issue. Weaverish is saying for some classes it might work. There are some characters that have really high stamina, and I think if you can tank the damage, it might be worth doing. There are also some characters that have attacks that attack multiple spaces in front of you. So again, yeah, that would be a really good place to stand. Oh, thank you, Space Lenin. Thank you for hosting me. Now we have to fight the ghosts. So these guys are tricky because they can move off the fighting grid. You can still hit them where they are. So they're moving. I'm gonna move this way. There we go. I don't know their attacks. This is really worrying me. Dare I move again? Or Shall I just hit one of them? I'm going to move. Ah, I'm weakened. Let's try attacking the space. Oh no, I'm doing really badly. Let's hit this guy then. At least I get to roll for it if I hit this guy. Fine. So these are all attacking. The only attacks I've seen have been diagonal, so I'm going to move. Perfect. They're attacking again. So let's let's hit this one. Perfect. Right. They're moving, I think. So where could they move to? Let's see if he moves back to there. Nope. That was a bad guess. So again, they've got their diagonal attacks. So let's move here. Perfect. Crippling volley time. Oh, they're immune to being immobile. Yeah, I think I'm safe being perpendicular to them. Oh, that's annoying. Ah, now I'm in trouble. Okay, let's move here. Oh, so Garzine is saying, for all of those of you who played the game books, what was the hardest one to complete that you remember? Commander Wotherspoon is saying the one where you start with random choices. Pain in the arse, that book. Yeah, there was one called Creature of Havoc, where you were basically... you were meant to be this kind of deformed creature and you weren't in control of your own actions. So instead of being able to choose where you turn to, in a lot of the cases, you had to roll to make your choices for you. That's a good roll, though. Ooh. Come on, I need a good roll. 9. Oh, I lost it. Oh, no. Right, he's attacking, he's moving. So let's... how many stamina has he got? Let's... I just want to kill somebody. Okay, now I'm in trouble. Let's do that one. Yeah, the Fighting Fantasy book's really interesting, because there were one or two... oh, no. There were one or two which I actually completed first time randomly. There was one called Space Assassin, which for some reason, the first time I played it, I just managed to beat. I don't know what was going on with it. I don't know quite why I managed to do that. Okay, this is better. They're all standing by me. So let's attack here. Okay, I need a good roll. That's it. That's a good roll. Right, he's attacking. Let's move out the way. Oh, this is some good placement. Finally, they are playing into my hands. Oh, no, maybe not. This might be slow killing, but at least it's finishing them in a way that I'm kind of happy with. Oops, I chose the wrong way. Never mind. Let's move. Yeah, with only 4 hit points, I kind of want sure damage. Okay, so before I click on any choices, I've got 2 potions of strength. I'm going to drink one of them because that's going to give me 14 hit points back. I can't think of a better time to use it, to be honest. Okay, this is the Domain of the Dead. This is where Krea Datura's quest is. So I'm going to have a look at the graphics, actually, because that could be important. Right. Let's have a little look. There is the stone pool full of blood that we definitely need to go to. There is also a box here that I've been told I should investigate. I'm going to be really upset if I go right and it doesn't give me the chance to go back to this room. So I think I might go up the ladder. Okay, you climb the ladder which leads to a trapdoor. You give it a heave, clamber through, then hear it slam behind you. The room is about 8 metres square with another ladder on the far wall. Standing motionless in the centre of the room are 4 men. At least they appear to be men. Their skin is a greeny-grey colour. Their clothes are tattered and torn, and they are all staring vacantly at the ceiling. One carries a club, one a scythe, one an axe, and one a pick. They are ignoring you completely. Not zombies. Zagor must have done this to the townspeople. Around the room are various peasant-style weapons, such as pitchforks, axe handles, and pointed sticks. Several barrels are scattered around the room, and there is another ladder in the far corner. In the northeast corner, a human corpse with a sword in one hand and a shield in the other. Okay, I am going to run towards the other ladder. I don't want any part of this. Oh no! I have to fight them anyway. Well, that's a shame. Okay, I'm going to assume, being zombies, that they have stupid attacks. Skill of 7. Let's just move back. Oh, I'm feeling a little bit pinched here. Oh yeah, they only have silly, straightforward attacks, so I'm feeling reasonably safe. Okay, I do not like being surrounded like this. I'm going to move. Okay, better. Right. I'm going to move this way. Yes, I guessed right. Perfect. That's very satisfying. Right, I'm going to move... No. Let's just attack him. I think I can take the roll. 7v8, that's enough. And he's moving, so let's... No. Okay, he's attacking. So I'm going to move to there. He's going to attack, and then I'm going to attack that space, and he moves into it. Perfect. Okay. It's good. The poor wretches lying dead at your feet almost look happy to be relieved of the burden of life, but as you look down at them, you sense that you are not the only one to know of their deaths. Got some luck back. Investigate the weapons lying around. Go over to the dead body in the northeast corner. Let's have a look at that. You check over the body. The poor wretch's skull has shattered under a club's blow. He wears a suit of armour no better than your own. He holds a wooden shield on one wrist and clutches a steel-bladed sword in his other hand. In one pocket is a pouch full of gold pieces, and around his neck is a silver crucifix. All of a sudden you hear a deep growl close by. Something is coming. You will only have time to take 2 items and make a run for it. What would you take first, or will you climb the ladder? Just in case we run into the vampire, I might take the crucifix. Oh, I can take 2 items. I'll take the gold pieces then, because there is a chance. Is the stream finished? Hello, Mac N71. No, the stream isn't finished. If you're having trouble seeing it, maybe hit F5. Oh, got lots of luck. This is definitely the place to be if you want to replenish luck. Okay, now we're into quest. You have entered a large circular chamber. The most striking feature here is a large stone bowl. It is filled with a dark, rich red liquid which is bubbling vigorously. Aside from this mysterious-looking pool, there is also a spiral staircase set behind the pool and 2 doorways opposite each other. I have found the blood font. It's time to use the silver chalice that Astragal gave me. Fill Astragal's chalice. Gingerly, you take your chalice and dip it into bubbling red liquid and fill it. The liquid is sticky and rather warm. When you smell it, you realise what it is. As Mike says, tomato soup. As I thought, this is the insidious blood font Astragal spoke of. Part of my quest is now complete. Now to find the demon he spoke of. I'll get it. Achievement. Do I drink from the pool? I really don't think I want to drink from the pool. Now, why am I heading north? Oh, it's not going to let me into this room. Okay, fine. I did notice this with one of the other characters, that once you get within sight of their unique quest, it actually starts to kind of railroad you into certain choices. Space Lenin, say, have you looked at Hand of Fate before? It's virtually in the same genre. That's really interesting. No, I haven't. I've got a friend who plays Hand of Fate, and he sort of recommended it to me. I didn't realise it was like this. Is that a card collecting game? You climb the stairs and find yourself in a dark crypt of some kind. At one end is an altar, and various coffins are strewn about the room. Okay, I'm really glad that I've got the crucifix now. There is an opening in the wall through to another room on your left. Let's just leave. We haven't got there's a hammer and stake somewhere in the game that I haven't picked up. I don't want to deal with the vampire unless we've got the hammer and stake. Okay, so we have a choice here. And I'm going to need you guys in Twitch chat to help me, because this is a little bit of a tricky thing, because I kind of know what's coming in this quest. So in the room downstairs, there is a mirror. In the mirror is a demon that is basically the Warlock Zagor's mother in spirit. And she comes through the mirror and attacks you, and you can fight her and get rid of her. Now, that is part of Krea's quest. The other part of Krea's quest is to pour the blood that she's got in the chalice onto this stone altar above. Now, the thing is, if we go down, there's no other way out of that room down other than back up. So if we go down, we are going to go past the place where we have to leave the blood. My concern is that we're meant to use the blood to seal the mirror before we fight the demon. That's what I'm not sure about. I'm worried that if I go up, I'm not going to be allowed to go back down. Whereas if I go down, I am definitely going to be allowed to go back up. So I'm kind of, I'm looking for a little bit of input here. That doesn't mean, as Mike says, I am not going to hold it against you if it all goes horribly wrong. I sort of feel like if I go down, I know that I can fight the demon in the mirror, and I pretty much know that I can deal with it. There's also a bit of dialogue that goes on. Lower, yeah. Also, if I die, I do still have 2 resurrection stones. So it's not the end of the world if I die. So Commander Witherspoon is saying lower. I think it's a good choice. Go down. Weaverish says I always go down first. That is an excellent principle. So let's do it. Let's go down. Take the stairs leading down. Garzini, what would I have done without foreknowledge? When I on the streams previously, I went down into this room, because when I was playing it previously, I wanted to explore as much of the environment as possible. So I was going through every door, I was exploring every avenue that I thought wouldn't take me towards the end of the game, because I wanted to kind of farm the locations and get as much as I can. With this character and with this run tonight, I really want to finish it and get to the end. So I'm kind of being a little bit more cautious perhaps than I was. But what that means is that before I played this character, I discovered all these things that I know are to do with her quest. You know, as soon as I heard her quest description, I recognised this location from playing it previously. So, you enter an ornate tomb with a large, ominous stone sarcophagus lying to one side. At the far wall is a tall black mirror, standing between 2 unlit braziers. That mirror seems to be a chasm of blackness. Could it be the one Astragal spoke of? You cautiously approach the sarcophagus and carefully trace your fingers over the carvings on the lid. Here lies Gerlicus Zagor, father to Alderaan and feared necromancer. May death be slow and agonising to those who disturb his slumber. You feel a cold breath on the back of your neck and wheel round in surprise. The sight before you is horrifying. It is of a translucent floating figure of what may have once been a man. Half of his face has decayed, exposing what would be flesh and bone if he were amongst the living. He is dressed in regal, flowing robes, torn from battle, blood and age. "You are either brave or foolish to be here," the ghost warns. "This is my tomb. I am Gerlicus Zagor." Sensing your reaction, he continues, "Fear not, adventurer. I am not here to harm you. I am more concerned with my son ruining the family name. The despicable deeds he has performed shame me, and I cannot rest." He gestures to the black mirror, and a piece of ghostly flesh finally detaches and falls to the floor with a splat as he does so. "I doubt you are here to meet with my son for tea," Gerlicus says dryly. "If you wish to defeat him, light the braziers on either side of the mirror." Nope. What do you reckon? Do you think I should fight the demon, or do you think I should do it with the blood on the altar? I really want to know. Okay. Pros and cons. I can win the fight. Space Lenin is saying blood for the blood altar. Let's try it. Let's try leaving the tomb. I'm going to be really disappointed. You quickly back away from the decomposing ghost. Something fills you with dread about the possibility of assisting the father of Zagor. You leave the chamber. You hear a furious howling behind you. "Come back, coward! Do you not want to defeat my son? All that is required of you is to light the braziers." You ignore the ghost. "Turn around and face me, fool! Do as I say. My son shall murder you, another dull-witted adventurer proceeding to their own doom." Good idea not to trust him. The ethereal voice fades and you follow the stairs upwards. Okay, blood for the blood god. As you climb the last steps, you're dwarfed by a dark shrine to the first Lord of Chaos, Death himself. The grim, imposing statue is holding a large bowl that represents the entire universe held in his grasp. It looks as though he is demanding a sacrifice. I think this bowl requires a blood sacrifice of some sort. Pour blood into the statue's bowl. You pour the contents from the pool of blood into the large bowl Death's statue is holding. The blood begins to roil and boil, but aside from that, nothing else seems to happen. With nothing else to do, you leave the mysterious shrine. That was underwhelming. I'm lightly disappointed by that. Oh well. Okay, this is the room with the ghouls. I do not want to get involved. Let's just leave the room. No, because this is what gets you with this game, because you say, I'm not going to explore this room with all the bodies in it. And then it says, perhaps I should explore this room some more. It's like, are you sure you want to backtrack and search the bodies? Yes. I am sure I do not want to search the bodies because I think they reduce your skill or something like that. They poison you. Right. We are at the maze. Let's use the restart point. We don't need to recover any hit points, but it is a restart point. So this here, this orb, let's take a nice look at it. Basically, this is the maze that we are now going into. So it is a sort of... It is a maze of the mind, if you like. It is a magical maze. So if we had that maze jumper potion, we could have skipped a certain amount of this. Okay. So this is the beginning of the maze puzzle. Up the stairs is the way out, so there is literally no point trying to go up the stairs at this point. If we investigate the plinth, it tells us there are basically two... it says, the small crystal plinth is about the size of a dwarf and it sparkles with an ethereal quality. It looks as though the plinth holds 3 crystal rods inserted into circular slots. One of these slots already has a rod sitting proud from it. So basically we have to find... Yeah, Retmork remembers this from the other day. We basically have to find 2 more crystal rods to complete Superman's birthright and speak to his father. No, that's a different thing. So let's go north. Now, this is going to be speaking too soon. The fight I don't want to get into... The fight I don't want to get into is the one with the grabbing hands. Thank you, world. Oh, I managed to evade them. Now, if we go east, there is a chance of more hands, but maybe there's something good on the other side of it. Do you know what? We'll come back here if we don't find what we're looking for somewhere else. I think that's the only sensible way to approach it. Let's go south then. Yes. Okay, dead end. So yeah, this maze is procedurally generated each time. Okay, this is the thing we need to find. So you come across crossroads with paths leading off in all directions. Here is the goblin in the cage. What we need to find is the... we need to find the handle that goes into the music box. When do the Ewoks come in? I'm not sure I understand that reference. Okay. You step into a room with only one exit. In the centre of the room is a statue of Sindla, the goddess of luck and fate, much like the one found in the town square in Anvil. Is this the genie? This is the genie. Okay. So... we don't need anything from the genie, and I seem to remember that the genie grants ironic wishes, so if you ask for companionship, he summons zombies. So I think that the wise thing to do is to ask for advice. My first piece of advice is best to keep an eye on Zagor. My next piece of advice, don't let Zagor get cheesed off at you. I wonder if the cheese might come into it. And that's actually all I have for you. Alas, I am unreleased and cursed to remain here, but you can now continue bold adventure with your newfound knowledge. So the thing I'm a little bit worried about, actually think about it, is I don't have a weapon to deal with Zagor. Anyway. At least I avoided an ironic death at the hands of the genie. Following the passageway, you open a door leading to a square room. Your eyes are immediately drawn to a large bowl filled to the brim with gold pieces. Okay, this is the Minotaur fight. Whoop whoop. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like to continue watching the series, please click on the next episode or click on the subscribe icon. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again soon.